Sandra.
Hey Isaac, hey Sanga. There is always in the beginning this thinking, this thought that it's necessary to do something, but actually is just to let go of everything into rest. And then this kiss is so, thank you so much. Thank you all.
Swaha.
When I come here to satsang, I can feel like this tension of the world is leaving me. And it's so beautiful. of this craziness that's happening. It's like it can melt away here, just being here. And then I can realize how much tension I take on very often, just to not feel it.
You know, it's worth, in my view, it's worth looking at when you say I take on. Tension happens. Yeah, and so I mean, you know, I know it's a way of speaking, but
Yeah,
tension just seems to happen. You know, somehow out of an old habit. I don't think anybody does it. And you know, it's like if that's a habit, and there's we're so used to it, it just happens, and we don't even notice it until we come into another context where suddenly, oh wow, yeah, so tension has crept in again, you know. But I think it's an error to think that you did it, or like I took on, or something like that. That's
yeah. I
yeah,
see what you mean. Yeah.
yeah. Just old habits starting to show themselves, and yeah.
Yeah, then it's not on top some guilt and some whatever. German guilt. You know, I feel like the energy, like I want to be a cat and just jump on your legs, and I like this is our ashram somehow, you know, this kind of meetings, and I'm more than
Yeah.
thankful.
Yeah, it's like we just meet in what we know at the deepest, you know, in the deepest we meet in that, you know. And,
G. Tomorrow is Papa G birthday or something like this.
oh wow, could be, yeah. I've lost track of what date it is even.
Or maybe the birthday to the other word, the death day. I'm not sure. Something like this.
Yeah, no, you're
Yeah.
probably accurate. I'm not good at that stuff usually.
Oh no, Facebook was so good to tell me.
Yeah, it's nice.
Lots of hugs and kisses to everyone, please.
While I'm thinking of it, I'm leaving back for Byron next Tuesday, so the Sunday will be the last Zoom, and then I'll start again 3 times a week, and I'll put that information on my website. I can't remember what I decided earlier today, but yeah, anyway, it'll be on my website. Ah, yeah, Ivar. Hi.
I would like to share something about my relation.
With pleasure.
Microphone.
Yeah, I hear you.
Oh, you hear me? Okay.
Yeah.
My computer says it's not working. Okay. So you heard what I said about my work.
Yes, I mean, there was one word that cut out. I wasn't
Okay.
sure what you were going to talk about, but it doesn't matter. Feel free.
Last week, I just felt my system gave me the signal that it was too much. The intensity at my work. And I reported sick. And
Oh, it's amazing that you could listen.
yes. And I remember the same feeling in the same time of year last year, and it was only 10 days after work had started, and I felt this is not possible. It's already too much, so I should go on. So I went on last year, but now I said, this is crazy. And so I've been going through quite some cleaning up, or very physical also, my stomach or this area. And I'm going between two emotions, and one is what you just said, that I'm grateful that I can listen and I can respond, and I really feel grateful for the sensitivity I've developed. And there's also the overwhelm. It's going to be
Great.
Stay to be too much.
No, not necessarily. No. So beautiful that you noticed there was an overwhelm and you took care of yourself. But then we can explore a little deeper, yeah? So, what does overwhelm mean?
I can't handle it, yeah.
So that's one way of seeing it, like I can't handle it. And so let's make a distinction between I can't handle it and there's something going on in the habits that play in me that can't handle it, and just see what the difference is between those two. For there to be this sense or this feeling sense of I can't handle it, there has to be some automatic unconscious resistance. And it's not right and it's not wrong. It's just there's something playing and it's giving you good information, because very often, we have that sense of it's too much and we don't listen. We push ourselves through it for whatever reason. And then, of course, there'll be consequences, either health-wise or, like it doesn't work to not listen. But it's an opportunity just to see how that sense of overwhelm arises, what's necessary for overwhelm to happen. It's beautiful that you can start to recognize the signals of your own nervous system. Wow, okay, but it doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with you or anything like that. It just means there's something going on, and it shows up then as a sense of overwhelm. And it doesn't mean you have to stay in your work. It doesn't mean you have to leave your work. It just, there's an opportunity, yeah? There's some feeling of overwhelm, and you caught it, you saw it, and you took care of yourself. That's fantastic.
Yeah, there are many thought concepts of how it should be, how it should look like, how I should behave, when I should be able to be back. It's all kind of a
I can see
rattle going on, and I'm really opening up and listening to this place now.
that's fantastic. Yeah,
but it feels insecure. Yeah, and
yeah. Yeah, for sure. We weren't taught to listen to the signals of our nervous system. That we weren't encouraged or conditioned to listen.
Yeah. There's just a fear that in this new sensitivity, I discover this job is just not possible for me to do, and now everything has to change. But
yeah, it's possible. We
yeah,
don't
it is
know.
possible. Yeah.
All we know is that somehow the way your system is relating to the job is stressful for your system.
Yeah.
To the extent that it feels like it's too much.
Yeah.
And for any of us, when there's a sense of overwhelm, and it can be very different in different expressions, different people, and it can also be very different, depend on how much sleep we've had, how much else is going on. There's a lot of different factors. But what's beautiful is that there's a noticing. Okay, some in the habit of relating to that circumstance, your system goes into a sense of it's too much. Doesn't mean anything about you. It just means that there's an opportunity, and it's like, so we just, if there's an interest, we start to explore. Okay, cool. Do you feel comfortable to say what your work is?
Yeah, I work in education, higher music education. Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm responsible for the startup of the college here, so a lot of have to
So
coordinate the education.
okay, so there's that word responsible, yeah. So it's an interesting word, because clearly you're drawn to that work because of an interest in music and an interest in educating, whatever that means. So let's look at that maybe. So if I had an idea that I had to educate you, or the other way around, you had an idea that you had to educate me, just looking through that filter alone produces some sense of pressure, right? Doesn't it?
Something needs to be achieved.
Something needs to be achieved, yeah. So then we're starting to get into a very big inquiry, about learning. How does learning happen? I mean, I guess all of us know the words or some of the words to hundreds of songs, yeah? And usually we didn't try to learn, we just somehow just happened and enjoying music, yeah? Enjoying songs on the radio, and then you can sing along some of them. And if it's really a song you like, you might kind of listen carefully and actually get all the words. But so let's just look together. How does learning happen? Somehow we learn to walk, somehow we learn to drive or ride a bicycle or cook or many things, It's just like, how does learning happen? First of all, there has to be an interest, right? If there's no interest, like if you have no interest in fixing televisions or cars or, forget it. Even if someone's really wants to teach you, you're not going to, if you don't have the interest, not going to happen, yeah? So once there's an interest, then what facilitates learning? Because, like the way we've been brought up is that learning is about like someone shoving information down us and we just have to vomit it back, That was kind of like how we were raised, that kind of idea of learning. It had nothing to do with actual learning. It had to do with trying to fit into an outdated education system, in my view, anyway. So when somebody loves music, whatever, whether it's drums or piano or guitar or whatever, then how does learning happen? How do we set up an environment where learning can happen? Because it's no different in a certain way than being a parent or being a lover, being anything, learning about intimate relating or anything. It's like, we can just go into it with our conditioning and patterns and nothing new happens. We just play out what the program, or what allows something new, like learning, to happen. Is this interesting to you to explore like this?
Sorry?
Is this interesting to you to explore like this?
Yes, very much. And what resonates in me now is you also mentioned the word responsibility, or I mentioned it.
Mm-hmm.
And there is this discrepancy between interest in learning and feeling responsible for learning. And I feel this is a process of learning I can engage into myself and maybe look into the part that feels responsible and that needs to achieve something, and the part that is interested in
for sure, because
space.
once that's in place, overwhelm is not far away. I mean, I'd say
Yes,
that's
exactly.
the seed.
Yeah.
That's the seeds of overwhelm right there.
Yeah.
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 Look, you love music and you love. You have an interest in generating an environment where learning can happen. Wow, that's really far out. But then there's this program of being responsible, or somehow.
Seems to be conflict.
It seems a little bit.
Yeah, I do feel too responsible. Yeah.
Oh, I don't know about that. I mean, I'd say that the fact that there's been this sense of responsibility has brought up this opportunity to really look at it. So for learning to happen around what is responsibility, what happens when life looks through that filter, yeah? I mean, it's like, I know in the current model at schools, there's this pressure put on teachers to teach kids in a circumstance that isn't conducive to learning at all. It's terrible. Most teachers know it doesn't work. And, they caught up in this funny system that really they spend most of their time on discipline because the circumstance is so backwards, But you seem to be in a higher education. It's not school. It's higher education, right? So is there room for playing? Is there room for exploring?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what you're saying is what we need to create is this space and to make contact with this very intrinsic interest in music, in wanting to
But
learn
now
and grow.
listen to your excitement now when you're talking like this. Then it doesn't feel overwhelming, right? It's like,
Well,
wow.
it's a beautiful job in a way when I describe it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's beautiful is there has been a learning in you to listen to your own nervous system. So that's fantastic because now you're moving into it with, okay, wow, where does it start to go into effort? Where does it start to go into stress, you could say?
Exactly.
It's like,
Yeah.
rather than, wow, this is a love of music. And it's so beautiful when somebody, and there's an interest in someone and you can match that interest with something that takes them deeper into that interest. Then it becomes really fun, actually, yeah?
Yeah.
So I'm not sure of the context of your job or, like how much room there is, but for sure, even just this exploration, I'd say, has been, in my sense, useful to you to look fresh and see it's nothing wrong with you. It's like, trying to fit into an environment that isn't conducive to learning and it's like, of course, that would be very stressful.
Yeah, there is actually a lot of space because it is all about learning and about how to make that space. So maybe it's the most perfect place to learn for myself as well.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, awesome.
And I want it to be that.
Yeah, how beautiful. So now you can say there's a creative challenge in a way, just like, wow, how can I bring myself into this in a way that really my nervous system blossoms in it and all the people participating blossoms? Because for sure, if your system was stressed, it would also invite everybody to stress themselves around what they actually love.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, and so, now you have something to experiment and play with and explore, and feel free to come again and we can go deeper into it, as you've explored this, and we can look more. Cool.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. And if you want to go to gallery view for a moment, just for fun, or if I can get there, got there, it went. And just see, did anyone get any value from that exploration? Seems like some people got some value. Yeah. Cool.
Hey, Isaac, not sure if you can see it, but Michael raised his virtual hand.
Okay, I don't see it yet. Just can you raise? Can you wave your hand? Ah, great, Michael. I see you now. But now you just moved on my screen. Now there you are. I see you again. Cool. Hey, Michael.
One moment. Hi, Isaac.
Yes,
Great
I
to
hear
meet
you.
Great to
Yeah.
meet you again
Yeah.
and again. And you all.
Yeah,
It's a
lovely.
great pleasure. I want to tell a small story.
Sure, go ahead.
It's a little bit the same as before. The stress you can feel, your body feel if there is a experience. I lost my mobile phone. It's a situation everybody knows. And today you depend on this small thing, and there's all in it, and all my cards and my credit cards and my personal documents in
Everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I lost it on the way to a meeting, and this was stress in time, and then go there by train, and the train is coming, and I realized the mobile phone is not there, and I needed small thing, a ticket. Ticket is in. Then the stress level is very high. It's kind of I would say your life is goes to an end. You know? And then happens a lot of confusing in my brain. I had this meeting, and I looked on my watch, and so I drive home a few kilometers to look after the thing. There was it not. I drive back to Central to the train station and look for it on street, and it was worse feeling. I go home again, and I was able to localize it by the digital techniques. And it has to be at the station. I go again there, third time. But on the way to it, I remembered this technique to hold on, make a short break, and close my eyes, and try to aware the world around me, the nature. And this was quite amazing. Immediately, the stress level comes down. And there was something you said, this person or this self, I don't know what it is, what is able to look at these emotions and these experiences. And then I imagined, or I tried to write a story in my brain in the future, and I said, I want to meet someone that gives me my life back. Just in the next 5 minutes, you know?
Yeah, that someone is you, eh?
It was imagination.
Yeah, but that someone is you.
Yeah. But we are all looking for this I and this me. We are all looking for this, and the answer is every time a question: who is me? Who is you? And who is I? But in this moment, I could really experience this I.
Mhm.
It's not the stress level of working and days or weeks hard working, and you are overwhelmed by this. But the small thing is a very good that's Übung, exercise, very good exercise.
Okay, yeah.
Came back to station and leave my car and look at the street, and there comes a girl with my mobile phone in hand, and asked me if I lose it 20 minutes ago.
Mhm.
There's a new nice contact. It was like a Hollywood movie.
Yeah, fantastic.
Yeah, fantastic.
Yeah.
And this story, there are at the time 10 people that know the story, and for all of them, it's the next step in thinking of the I.
Mm.
It's so nice.
Mm.
Mm.
So beautiful, when something happens,
Yes.
and the usual habit would be to completely freak out, and then
Yeah.
something goes, wait a second, this is an opportunity. Okay, yes, just be aware of nature and breathing and whatever, and just something slows down and someone comes with your phone. Oh,
But
fantastic.
Isaac, since I meet you at the meeting, I thought often about the question, what is with very severe problems of the world and the people? If you have a bad illness, or you have cancer, or you have nothing to eat, or your house is burnt down, and so on, this really, really severe things.
Circumstances, yeah.
It's not so easy, I think. And every morning
but it's so amazing, huh? It's never the circumstance. It's never the circumstance, because no matter what circumstance, there can be a moment of just peace. There can be a moment of where you just see, okay, I'm not, something's not going with that whole old story.
There's something more. There's something more.
Yeah. So yes, I agree, and I understand that some circumstances can be very challenging, but that challenge can be exactly what produces a shift and looking from somewhere else.
Yeah, but often I stand in front of someone who tells me such a story, and this, I think, is really hard. What to do? What to say?
You don't have to say anything. It's not about wise words or anything like that. It's about just being lovingly present. That's it.
Yeah,
That's
I tried
all.
it.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, simple.
It sounds simple sometimes, but you have to very, very disciplined to come in silence.
Yeah, again, I don't know if I think it's a love affair. It's like we've grown up with this idea of helping and about all this stuff, but at some point, as it gets more quiet in us, we realize that actually the biggest gift we can offer is just loving attention.
Okay.
Not trying to fix anything or change anything, not giving advice, nothing, just loving presence. And then the person starts, they have a nervous system then that their system can start to regulate with, and they can start to come to their own sense of peace. And from there, they can see for themselves what the next step is, what they need to do.
Yeah, it's our own experience in such moments.
Exactly.
When
exactly.
it happens.
Yeah.
Isaac, thank you.
Thank you, Michael. Yeah. Yeah. Patricia.
So this was lovely to hear, because it made me aware that this cancer diagnosis, which I had, was this gift, this check. And I went to a private doctor 1 week ago to check where the cancer cells are, because I want to treat it my own now. And she said, yeah, it's there. And I said, oh, yeah, I thought the same. And it was really so different. I was looking for an answer. Yeah, that's the body doing, wow. And now I put this treatment, which Isaac brought to me on, and it feels so good, and I can feel what is happening, and there's so much trust that it works, and if not, I can do it again. Wow. So for me, it was really, it's not the circumstance, not at all. And this loving presence from you, Isaac, and Mike, and all. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, beautiful to receive it, and beautiful to acknowledge it, and beautiful to start to see, wow, our system has that capacity also. Yeah.
But I have the feeling I needed this, otherwise I wouldn't.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. So much gratefulness. Wow. Mm. Mm.
Beauty.
Mm.
Thanks, Parisha. Antje.
Hello, Isaac.
Hi, Antje. Anything that wants to be said? Thanks, Auntie. Afia. Hi.
Hi. It feels like there's this load in the body. I don't know how to say, like tension or no, it's not even tension. It's something. And what happens is then that I contract around it. The tendency is to contract around it. Which makes it really feeling really personal.
Mm-hmm.
And that for me to be in more space, it needs to go away. The body needs to feel differently for me to sense space again. And I know it's not true, but somehow there's a funny thing with this, like this. Do you know what I mean with this load?
Yeah, yeah. So whatever that load is, it's an old habit, yeah? So just take, yeah.
Okay, that helps.
Yeah.
It feels so personal. It's
Yeah. Yeah. Well, just gently looking what that old habit, just what's it made up of? You know, it's like you tasted a good, you know, a cake or a meal, and what are the herbs and spices, or what's it made up of? You know, this habit.
Well, one of the things is a sense of I. It seems like information cannot pass through. Like my sister is going through something big. My dad is going to something, and that like stories of people, and then it stays. That's how it feels. Also, the belief that I need to be there for them in a certain way, that I need to believe in their sadness in order to be a good person for them. Something like that.
Yeah, so just looking at that then, is that true?
I really can feel the movement between just being and oh yeah, you have such a big problem. The difference between those two.
Little bit of a difference, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. As if there are expectations from them, especially from family, in the way how I am involved. Like, yeah.
It's beautiful to have an opportunity to see them, because for sure, you know, like that's those kind of, especially if there's something, you know, in the conditioning that, you know, matches with that.
Yeah. Yes. For example, I never go to the big family meetings with like 40 people because I don't really like that. But now someone died and I want to go to the funeral, but now I'm really nervous that everybody thinks she comes to the funeral but she's never here in the other stuff. Something like that. Like, yeah.
So you can see that's, in a sense, it's outsourcing. If you know what other people think, what is it, you know, in a certain way. It's just like, it's an orientation, you know, you've been conditioned to, most of us have had that conditioning, that somehow it matters what other people think. And then we don't even know what they think. We just imagine what they think, and it's enough for our systems to go crazy. So,
Yes.
maybe they really, maybe they're really happy to see you. Wow, far out you came.
Yeah. It's good to speak it out loud because then I hear the craziness, you know.
Yeah, for sure. It's just beautiful to see, in like these thoughts and feelings, and I mean, somehow that never got looked at, you know, they just so used to them that they kind of seemed real in some way. And just saying, wow, they just made up of nothing, actually.
It's so the difference between the sense of freedom and being a person again in like a split second.
Yeah.
Ah, what the fuck? Yeah. And now I feel more the simplicity of it's really big for my dad. I can feel his heart and I want to be there.
Mhm.
That's all. I just there.
Simple, yeah, simple. Don't have to fix him. You don't have to give him any wise words. Just hold his hand. Yeah, hey, Dad. Yeah. Reminds me of that Beatles song. Nothing is real and nothing to get hung about. I mean, it's so amazing how things can seem real, eh? And then you look from another perspective, and it's dream.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
just
then
like what is real, eh? What is real? We can't describe this moment. It's clear, yeah.
thank you, Isaac.
Thanks, Sophia. Yeah. Hey.
Hello, Isaac. So nice to see you.
Hi, yeah.
Just want to rest with you.
Yeah. Ah, Yeah. Love, peace, beauty. Yeah. Yes. Ah, Janet. Hey, Janet.
Hi, Isaac. When they spoke before about being responsible, it's kind of, yeah, I've felt I've had that burden, I suppose you'd call it, of
Yeah.
having to be the responsible one.
Hmm.
Um,
So, a question: is it okay to just enjoy this moment, and then you can be responsible after, but just take a moment and see if it's okay just to enjoy this moment for a second. And then, how much are we allowed to enjoy this moment?
when you said that, I could just feel myself like, oh, like just, how can I do that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so funny, it's like, really, if we look at our conditioning, it hasn't been oriented towards, wow, we can meet this moment as the beloved. This moment is as God as it gets. We can just absolutely savor it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like,
Wow.
yeah, like somehow, unless we're carrying a heavy burden, it's such a different kind of perspective. Eh? It's like,
Yeah. Wow.
yeah.
It's like, oh. Oh, wow. I can feel that responsible one trying to sneak back in.
Beautiful that you can see it. Just, track it, like, can you find that in your father's lineage, in your mother's lineage, or just, you're in the schooling system, just all the different tentacles of that particular conditioning, yeah?
Hmm.
That took us away from wonder and awe and beauty, it's like, wow, bad trade. Excellent.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Nilema. Michael.
It's like now I'm sitting with you and experiencing like this, deepening. And I feel like the difference, from maybe the past is like there's like a recognition that it's not separate from the body or from, human or anything like that.
Yeah. Sure.
Ah, there's so much.
Thank you. Oops. Esther.